Good evening, everyone. My name is Carolyn Swanger, and I am going to introduce our wonderful speaker tonight on the Heat Team call. Today is Tuesday, March 3rd, and my privilege to introduce Jennifer Straub, who is a national marketing director, and I'm so grateful that she's come into my life 24 years ago. So Jennifer lives in Louisville, Kentucky, and she's been happily married for 30 years and a mom of two kids. And I think that was just a recent celebration, wasn't it,
Yes,
Jennifer?
I was.
Okay. Well, prior to Juice Plus, she was a banker until she had her daughter, and that helped her become a stay-at-home mom. And then after adopting her son, she became a mom on a mission. She has been a part of this community, as I mentioned, for almost 24 years. And this business has allowed her to make connections with along with our community on the outside. It has allowed her to be able to just stay home and take care of her family's needs. It allowed her not only to become a mom that she wants to be, but also a mom that she needs to be. And we're going to hear that story tonight. So, with that said, Jennifer, we can't wait to hear your story and how that you made this business work for you. And we're all going to not feel bad because it's pretty wild of where you've started and what you've been through and where you are now. So go ahead.
Thanks,
Well, thank you.
Carolyn.
And Caroline, thank you for asking me to talk tonight. So I actually did this talk last year for the Kentucky Lakes Boot Camp. And afterwards, Caroline asked me to do this for the call. So we're going to kind of shift a little bit with it because I was actually doing it in person and had people stand up and be interactive. But Caroline and I were testing it out earlier today. And in order for my videos to play, I have to optimize my volume, which means I can't see anybody. So, which drives me crazy when I present. So if my eyes are going wonky, it's because I can't see anything. You all can see me, but I can't see you. So I want to start out, and when I had everybody stand up, it's all about your journey with this company. So it took me 18 years to get to the top of the company. So I was asking people to stand up and ask how long they've been here. And I just want you to know if you've been here for a long time and you are not where you want to be, it's okay. It's okay because this is your story. My whole message is make your mess your message. And I've always said that to my kids. In fact, when I made NMD, the gift from my daughter, and I should have brought it out at my desk, was make your mess your message. Because life is messy. Life is very messy. And so if you've been in 18 years, it took me, and I was really embarrassed by that. But it's who I am. It's who made me who I am today. So if you've been in for a while, it's okay. I believe in you. If I can do it, you can do it. So do not let that detract you. So I'm going to get onto the PowerPoint and pray that we don't have any, when I have videos in it, sometimes it's hard for me to play with it. So we're going to try this and hope it works. And I'm going to optimize my video. And so I will not be able to see y'all anymore. Can you all see my screen?
Yes, we can see it.
Okay. Okay. I couldn't hear anybody. I thought, oh my gosh, I lost my audio too.
I was on
Okay.
mute and I'm going, yes, yes, yes. And then I looked down. So, yes.
I'm thinking, oh, here we go. We're starting. When Rhonda Hubbard asked me to do this call and for her team. And once I started playing the videos, when I was trying to get back to see people, the entire thing shut down and I was frozen. So we're doing it the easiest way that this technology will work. And I'm not very tech savvy. So I want y'all to really think about a few things. So have you ever heard a no when you're talking to someone? Have you ever set a goal that you didn't reach? And has anyone ever really gotten frustrated in this business? Okay, that's when you're taking your mess and making it your message because life is messy. So I want to dig a little deeper into each question. Has anyone ever heard a no? Every conversation is good practice. It is never wasted. You opening your mouth and approaching someone and mentioning something is just practice, no matter what the answer is. And never ever prejudge anybody because let them tell you no. Don't decide for them. You have no idea what's going on in their life. Don't make an assumption that they're not interested. Ask anybody, ask everybody. And no is really just not yet. Uncover concerns. I love when people say it costs too much. I love that because we know it's a great value. But I always say, if it weren't for the cost, would you take Juice Plus? If they say yes, I always say, if I can show you a way to cover your cost, would you take Juice Plus? If they say no at any time, it's not about the cost at all. So I always give them that option. If I can show you a way to cover it, will you take it? Timing, you have no idea what's going on in someone's life. No idea. So ask them, when is a better timing? If they say 2 months, 2 years, make sure you put in your calendar and call them back. But it may be, and it may not be no, it's just not yet. You've got to let them get their timing right. And then what information can I provide for you to make this decision? You may be in this because of the research or because of the farm fresh or because of convenience, but you have no idea what they're interested in. So I always ask, what kind of information can I provide? Because I don't want to give them what I like because I have no idea if that resonates with them. So it's really important to find out what they're interested in. And years ago, I read a book called Go for No. I'm sure a lot of you have read that. But two things have really resonated with me from that book: pennies in the pocket, and pennies are hard to come by these days. So whatever it is, whether it's a penny or anything else, if you put them in your right pocket and you can't go to bed till it's in your left pocket, and the only way you can move a penny is by having a conversation. So you've got to have 10 conversations if you got 10 pennies, that day before you can go to bed. And that kind of is accountability and a challenge for you. And my kind of mantra to life now is a concept of pink polka dot underwear. My whole family knows it. We always laugh. They always laugh at me with it. We are all created equally. We are all created in God's image. Nobody is better than anybody else. And we get these thoughts because someone's an owner of a company or a doctor or something. Somebody may have achieved more than you have, but nobody is better than you. And when you're going to go approach someone that you're nervous about, picture them in pink polka dot underwear. It takes all the fear out of it. You laugh. I mean, literally, I go in and I picture that and laugh when I walk in. In fact, and I told this and I didn't mean to at the boot camp and it embarrassed me, but I'll tell it again because it made a good effect. I tell my kids this all the time. And my poor son came home and he's like, Mom, I did really good on my project. And I said, good, how'd it go? He goes, I just pictured my teacher in pink polka dot underwear. I'm like, okay, we might have to have some boundaries of who you're thinking of in your pink polka dot underwear. But it's like my kids know it. No one's better than anybody. So just kind of have that vision and it takes all that fear away. And just remember that every no is just one step closer to a yes. Okay, here's the first video, and hopefully I can get my PowerPoint back after.
There will come opportunities in life.
Can y'all hear that?
When they're presented to you in
Yes,
front of you.
yes, yes.
It's just a matter of whether you're not prepared to take advantage of the opportunity. But you got to develop that resilience within you. Life is not about how much you succeed. It's about what happens when you fail, right? So life is, you could look at like, man, what's been inspiring for me? If you said, oh, Tom, what are the greatest wins? I'd be like, the wins, those are, yeah. Let's talk about the losses. Those are the ones that really, made me who I am. And as you go through life, and we're all adults, things happen in life that you don't want to have happen. Whether you lose a game or whether things don't go well at work or something with your child, or, there's a lot of things that come up in our personal and professional lives that just don't go the way we want. And how do you deal with it? Do you deal with class and integrity and with courage and with resilience? And are you able to share emotion with people? And do you have other people in your life that can help you through those things? And I think, like I said, my blessing is I've had people that go through those things with me.
Okay, so have you ever set a goal that you didn't meet? That's kind of the story of my life. I came on, to just tell you my whole journey, I came on really fast, and I was a qualified sales coordinator within 3 months. And then I sat there for 10 years. Then I finally made senior sales coordinator. We didn't have QSE at the time, but I finally made QSSE. I finally made senior sales coordinator, and I sat there for another 5 years. And I made QNMD, sat there for 3 years. So my journey was just long. It was lots of goals that I did not meet. But let's back up to when I was senior sales coordinator. I happened to be the head of the co-op here because I was the highest position here in Louisville. And so I was in charge of hosting corporate speakers. And this just intimidated me to death. It was way above my pay grade. And Dr. Jan Roberto was coming to speak, and Randy Matthews from corporate. And so we had the event, everything went great. And then I had to go out to dinner with them afterwards. And I cannot tell you how nervous I was. And Randy just said, just be yourself, honey. Just be yourself. You can do this. So we're sitting there at dinner having small conversation. And Dr. Roberto asked me what my goals were. And I told her that I wanted to provide it for my son's orphanage. And then she asked me what my husband did. And I told her. And she just looked at me and said, you're just never going to make it to NMD. And just sat there. And I was shocked. Like, how dare she? She has no idea who I am. And how dare she tell me that I'm not going to make it to NMD? And I looked at her, and it was this perfect pause that she had. And then she said to me, your goals are too big, You're too comfortable under your husband's income. You're not desperate enough. I have no idea what else happened that night because I was so angry at that point. And I came home and I told my husband, and he said, she's right. That was not a good night for him either. So let's fast forward a year. We chose to move to a different school district. It was right down the street, but we chose to move to a different school district, which doubled our mortgage. And then my husband ended up taking 2 pay cuts. And in order for us to really do all the activities we want for our kids to do, I ended up having to clean my parents' house for money. And I'll never forget cleaning their toilet at one point. And I just heard in my head this voice of Dr. Jan Roberto saying, you're not desperate enough. And I realized that I was desperate. I was absolutely desperate. And that was my time. I came home and I told my husband, it is time that we take, like, it's my time to actually take my mess and make it my message. So we had discussions and we started setting long-term goals was NMD. So we set the long-term goals and we put timelines and rewards because that's what she said. My goals are too big without timelines, but we had to do short goals first. We had to do set achievable goals with timelines and rewards. And I will never forget my goal for QNMD. My in-laws had bought us our bedroom set for our wedding present, and we had a queen bed. And my husband is not a small guy, and I could charge him with spouse abuse charges when he's dead asleep because he'd roll over and smack me and not mean to. And I had been begging for a king size bed, and he would not give up our queen bed because it was part of the set and it was part of our wedding present. And I remember saying to him, when I make QNMD, can I take my title reward and buy that king size bed? And he agreed. And let me tell you the pride I had when I went and I bought the bedroom, the actual bed frame, and then I bought the mattress. And to this day, I'm proud of that bed, but I earned that bed. And it really made me realize goals get really big. But if you take them down into small ones and reward yourself, it gives you pride long after that goal is achieved. You still have pride in that goal. And then it's also really important to communicate your goals. I communicated my goals with my upline for sure, and for my team, because everybody has to know what you're doing. The company supported me no matter what. They were always there for me in my long journey. But it's the upline, and we are very blessed to be on the team that we're on. It took me 18 years to make it. It took Alexis Busselman, who we all love, 18 months. But our upline was able to support both goals. It is amazing how we can adapt to whatever you're doing. So whatever your goal is, it's okay. Communicate it with your upline because they're going to be with you every step of the way. The sidelines were huge. I mean, Jan Roberto is the one who kind of kicked me in the gut and made me get back on track. So it's really important to communicate those goals, and setting goals in achievable little chunks is so important for achievement. And if you miss a goal, it's okay. It's okay. Shake it off. Every time you miss, you learn from it and you set a new goal. Um, Remember that when you're setting these goals, this is your story. You're the author of this. So I mean, it took me 18 years and that was really embarrassing for me, but I learned from every single failure. It's not about the failure. It's what you do as a result of the failure. That's what's so important.
Michael Jordan, the greatest basketball player in the world, he took 946 game-winning shots. 946 times since he was in high school, the ball has been in his hand to take the game-winning shot with no time on the clock. He has only made 146 of those. He has missed over 700 times, but he has made 146. You know what they write about? When you make it. They write about when you make it. So guess what? When you get through failing, all you got to do is make one. All you got to do is make one.
I love that video. I also love this statement, and this has kind of been my mantra. And I even said this in my NMD speech. The two most important days of your life are the day you were born and the day you find out why you were born. If this is your mission, if this is your passion, it doesn't matter how long it takes you to get there. If this is why you're here and this is why you were born, keep at it. So, next question is, does anyone ever get frustrated in this business? Okay, there's a lot of frustration. There's a whole lot of frustration, but how do you get through that frustration? First of all, you got to have a belief in the product. It is, and we know this, it is the most researched nutritional product on the planet. We know it's foundational nutrition. We know it's plant-based cellular nutrition. We know that everyone needs it from the womb to the tomb. But when you have frustration in the business, it is your true belief that comes from your personal experience that's going to get you through that frustration. Why are you taking Juice Plus? The business is frustrating, sure, but why? What is it about the product that brings your passion out? Mine is a long story. We don't have time on this Zoom, but it's all about my son with his asthma, severe asthmatic, 5 breathing treatments a day, 2 steroids, told us he'd never be able to play sports. And after 4 weeks of Juice Plus, we started weaning him off breathing treatments. Now he is 21 years old, plays ultimate frisbee and in college, loves it. But it is my passion and what it has done for my son why I feel obligated to get out and talk to people. No matter how frustrated I get, we have a bigger story to tell. And it's really important that we get out there and help through our frustration. So when I was in Brave Leaders, I was lucky enough to be in the same old pod with Stacy Whitmer before she was our regional director. And she said when we were doing one of our sessions, she said, when I am really frustrated, I call my raving fan customers to remember why I recommend Juice Plus in the first place. So when you're in that frustration, you've got your story, but call some of your customers. I mean, there's a reason you're here, and your customers love you, and that's going to give you the energy and the fuel to continue to move forward and call that person you're scared to call. So when you're frustrated, remember that, we know we've got the best product, but it's the company that's behind us that also can get us through the tough times. Jay Martin is a visionary. We know that. And now we are carrying his vision forward. This is a company with a heart. This is a company that is one team, one mission. It is not competitive. It is sidelines cheering you on. It's your upline, it's your downline, but it's not a competitive market. So we had been through a really, really, really hard time. We have with this digital transformation, but we've got the right product. We've now had the right technology. We've got a company that believes in us, and we are launched for massive growth. And then we've got a company and team that can support you, whether you make it an NMD in 18 months or 18 years. Everybody has their own journey, and this company can support it. So I say to those people who are out there, especially those leaders out there, if you've got team that's struggling or team that's stagnant or team that's stuck, they need you. You've got to hold them up when they falter. And I mean, this is their journey. This is their timeline. And I'm a perfect example of that. So don't give up on them and just be their guide, their guiding light to help them through. And for those of you who are still striving to reach your goal, this is your story. And there are chapters left to write. You're the author. You create the ending. So don't give up. It is all about God's timing. I mean, when I made it, I had this perfect vision of when I was going to make NMD. And I made it at the absolute worst possible timing in our family life. We were moving. This was my office and my laundry room and my storage room and my dining room. And I've got paint swatches in the back. I mean, my desk, I circled it there, was a little cardboard table here in the back corner. And this is when I made NMD. Can you imagine the Zoom calls with my vacuum behind it and the paint swatch? So it is, just be ready. I mean, it is not our timing. It is God's timing when he opens those doors and everything starts flooding through. So my statement to this is for the whole business. And, my team will always tell you, I don't call this a business. This is a mission, not a business. Mission brings out passion. Business brings out stress. And I can tell you right now, in this season, after this digital transformation and business being down, it has turned into a business and it has turned in more stressful. And we've got to find our passion. We've got to go back in. And I have to play by this rule a lot because it is stressful. And I don't ever want this to be stressful because it takes away why we're in it in the first place. So there will be stressful seasons in this business, but remember that passion and make sure you're running it off passion because it is a mission. We're here for a purpose. So there are 3 things that I've learned along this journey. That number 1, change starts with me. Be the change you want to see. If things don't change, they remain the same. Travis Garza always said that. If things don't change, they remain the same. What you are not changing, you are choosing. So how do you create change? You get comfortable being uncomfortable. My team is so sick of me saying this to them. Get comfortable being uncomfortable because there is no growth in comfort, just maintenance. So how do you get uncomfortable? You start scheduling events. Every event is an opportunity to reach out to a prospect, a customer, or a partner. It is a contact point. If there's an event scheduled, it is your excuse to reach out to someone. And if someone misses that event, it's okay. Follow up. Tell them that you're sorry they missed it. We had a great event. We had so much fun. We schedule another one. You don't want to miss it. So again, schedule it, reach out, follow up. If no guests show up, train your partners. Don't ever miss an opportunity. And then you've got to show your team that you can do this with when life is messy. My team's over here all the time, and my life is not easy. Our kids are interrupting, our dogs are licking the window. It's everything happens at our house, and that's okay. I want them to realize that you don't have to be perfect. If you wait for perfection, it will never come. So just get out there and do it. We want people to see that we can do this in chaos because we want them to feel comfortable doing it with whatever they're going through. So Danny Martin, who is a leader of our Brave Leaders, said sometimes the event needs you. Sometimes you need the event, and sometimes the event needs you. And that is so important. You've got to support the hosts. If you all as a team or in an area are planning events, show up because events don't just happen on their own. Hosts are doing a lot. They're cleaning the house, they're preparing, they're getting ready. Your downline needs you, your sidelines need you. You may have guests and someone else is showing up for you. Next time, you need to show up for them, even if you don't have a guest, because events are hard to put on and you've got to show up. So, how do you see yourself? You've got to be uncomfortable in order for you to step up into that leadership role. I mean, would you follow you? Would you follow you? That is such an important question. Okay. Change starts with me and consistency pays off is number 2. The effort you put in today, it may take 3 to 6 months to show up in your paycheck, but you got to start today for that paycheck to change. Consistency builds trust. It builds trust with your team. When you have events planned, they can invite. They have a reason to reach out to people. So it builds trust with your team, with your customers. You want to be that one-stop shop. You want to be that resource for your customers. So you've got to have these events and this information for them. And it builds it with yourself. You've got to believe in yourself. And the more you build, the things start changing, your confidence changes. So when you are consistent with your DMO, then you're going to start trusting yourself better. Consistency, creating a DO will provide that consistency. You don't show up to a gym for the first time and build muscle. All you do is get sore. It takes routine. It takes consistency for you to get the end result. And you got to have long-term results in mind as you do this. It is all about self-discipline.
Undisciplined people do dumb things. Disciplined people do smart things. Which are you? So this is really everything that we talk about is going to come down to how do you have the discipline to execute and do the things that you need to do your part. And one thing that everybody has to overcome to be able to do this is, am I going to do what I feel like doing, or am I going to choose to do the things I need to do to accomplish the goal and the vision that I have? This is a huge hurdle for everybody, because how many times have you heard somebody say, I don't feel like doing that? It doesn't matter what you feel like. You got to make choices and decisions based on what you want to accomplish and what you want to do. You got to be committed to it, and it's got to be important to you if you're able to do that. Undisciplined people do dumb things. Disciplined people do smart things. Which are you?
Okay. And I'm going to go quickly through the third one because I want to make sure you all see the last video because I love it and it's a little bit longer. So again, change starts with me. Consistency pays off. And number 3, which is so important, you are not alone. We've got corporate and we've gone through a tough time, but everything we've gone through is setting us up. We'll have new products. I love Superbiome. Of course, I love our foundational product, but Superbiome is my favorite. So we're coming out with these to be that one-stop shop for health and wellness. We've got the computer, the technology now that we've been waiting for. Everything that corporate has done has been for us. I want y'all to realize that everything they've done is for us to share easily. So you're not alone. You've got an incredible upline. You've got to be teachable and you've got to pull in the strength of your upline as you're learning. Okay, always communicate up, always lean on your upline. They are there for you to help you. Your downline. No one can make it to NMD without a downline. So count on your team, let them know where you're going, and it's a family together, but you cannot do this alone. And then your sidelines, everybody's cheering you on. whether it was Jan Roberto kicking me in the butt, whether it was Stacy cheering me on, or Danny talking about an event. Everybody has that sideline that may never make a penny on you, but they're there to support you. So I ask you, who are you surrounding yourself with? Those who believe in you, support you, and cheer you on, or those naysayers? I can tell you that I believe in you. No part of your journey is a mistake. Every moment has brought you to today and right now. So it's time that you take any failures from the past and do something with them, because it's time for you to strive. Like your mess is your message, and you move forward. So I'm going to leave you with this video. I love this video. And then if there are any questions, if we have time, we'll answer them.
My friend Ed was driving way too fast. At the time, we didn't realize he may have had too much to drink. Ed lost control of the wheel of that car, and he crashed into a mound of sand, sending that car hurling into the air before tumbling back to earth. One of the first times that I came to, that's when one of my doctors said this. He said, Scott, in case you don't recall, you're in a bad car accident. You've broken your neck and have a very serious spinal cord injury that has left you paralyzed from your chest down. Diagnosed quadriplegic. It wasn't long thereafter I was being told I'd be confined to this chair for the rest of my life. 30 days into this experience, laying there, I started getting some movement back in both of my wrists. In the back of my mind, I started thinking to myself that no matter how difficult life would be going forward, that everything would be okay. When I first started pushing a wheelchair, that's when one of my doctors, though, pulled me over. And he goes, Scott, look, we know you're getting some movement back in your arms. Not uncommon, but I think now more than ever, you need to understand the seriousness of your spinal cord injury and come to realize that the movement that you're getting back in your arms is as good as it's going to get. I don't know if that is exactly what he said, but what I heard was, you might as well go ahead right now and give up hope. Give up hope in the idea you'll ever come out of this chair. But the problem was, I bought into his words. My vision darkened. And to make matters a little more difficult for my parents, they were 2,000 miles away, and I literally stopped taking their phone calls. 4 days later, Dad got me on the phone, and he demanded to know what was wrong. So I made an executive decision to tell him. And all he said was this: I was out there 2 weeks ago for your birthday. Your attitude was off the charts. Remember how I reached down, put my arms under your arms, and hoisted you into the upright position? Do you recall what that felt like? Of course I do. Will you do me a favor? Will you go back and recapture that mindset and re-own it again? In the meantime, don't be upset with me. I'm going to have words with that doctor. And then come the next morning, when I woke up, I could not believe my eyes. Standing at that doorway, looking back at me, was my dad, letting me know in a sense everything would be okay. And if I learned anything from Dad, that no matter how difficult life is for you, in that moment you can always change your way of thinking. And that's when I made the profound decision that I was willing to fail, but I was unwilling to quit, while knowing that nothing worth achieving ever comes too easy. But to succeed, that takes grit. But what is grit? Grit, my friends, is your passion to persevere. Grit is what keeps you off the sidelines and back in the game of life. Well, there's something I learned in my life so many years ago, and I know it to be the truth. Don't ever let someone else's beliefs paralyze you from achieving those things you believe in your mind that you just might be able to achieve. If you are looking to thrive, to beat the odds, and achieve extraordinary results in your own lives, don't give up too soon.
Okay, I love that video. So I will end with, it is now time, and make your message, but it's now time to strive. And I can't see anybody. So I'm gonna take off my screen share, stop share, so I can actually see everybody. Okay. That is it. I just want you to take your message and make it your message. And it is a story. Life is never going to get easier, and you never wait for perfection. And believe me, mine is very much of a mess, but we continue to move forward. So
That was phenomenal, Jennifer. I am so proud to be your sponsor. That you're right. You can't make it to NMD without people like Jennifer's in your life, those that don't give up. And just sometime if you get to hear her full story of what are all the messes along her way that she has had to overcome. And she's just got such a wonderful spirit about you, never giving up, Jennifer. So I appreciate the example you've been to me. So
thank you.
where are we at, Nikki? What's the next step here?
Well, if anybody has a question and they're dying to, we certainly can take one. It was such a beautiful call. Every time you've done a call, Jennifer, it's been like gold star, gold standard. It truly is. It's just you're an amazing trainer and sharer and storyteller. I hope that you know the depth of the excellence that you deliver. I hope you know that. And when that guy got up done speaking, I was clapping. I forgot I wasn't in person. I was just he stood up and I
Me
was
too.
cheering. That was beautiful. So thank you. I don't know, just if you have a question, if you can raise your hand, your react hand, go to the button that says react and put your hand up so I can find you. And if not, if there's nobody that has a question or a comment, we'll call it a night. That was just fabulous. We got a Zoom user. I don't know whose name it is, but whoever you are, go for it.
Jennifer, this is Jimarall. I just wanted to say wonderful, just a wonderful talk. It just encouraged me to do more. So thank you very much. And I hope you recorded this so we can share it.
Always recorded. Wouldn't want to miss it.
Thank you, Jimarall.
And by the way, next Tuesday night, we're going to have on Transformation Tuesday, Pamela Sue, who started this business as a house cleaner, cleaning everybody's toilets, Jennifer. And she had somebody who said you can be and do so much more. And it's an absolutely amazing story. She's going to share her story next Tuesday night. So it's another one of those stories that it's really, truly a remarkable story. So thank you so much, Jennifer.
Could I chime in real quick?
Oh, of course.
Sorry, I couldn't find the hand raise. Sorry, just pulled in my driveway. But Jennifer, that was so good. I was so happy to hear it, and it really inspired me, and it spoke to what I needed to hear tonight. I always think, you're in the right place at the right time, and this was the message for me tonight. And I love the way you came out the gate like, I didn't become an MD until after 18 years, and that was super helpful for me. So thank you so much. I appreciate you.
Certainly. Don't ever give up.
Yep. Great call.
I was just going to say, if I could, Nikki, I was just going to say, I've known Jennifer this whole journey since she's been with Juice Plus, and I'll just say your mess is beautiful.
Thank you.
So are you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Jennifer.
Good night, everybody. Beautiful call. It'll be posted by tomorrow on Facebook, both on the Cotton Club Turn Up the Heat and just the Heat team Facebook groups.
Yes, thank you.
Good night, everybody.
Good
Thank you,
night.
Jennifer.
Thanks, Jennifer.
Unmute yourself and
Night.
give Jennifer a great thank you or a word of gratitude if you'd like to unmute yourself.
Thanks, Jennifer.
So much, Jennifer.
I appreciate you so much.
Amazing, Jennifer. Thank you so, so much.
Thank you.
Very special, Jennifer.
Night, everybody.
Thank you, guys.
Good night.
Good night.